Presenza, per la vostra partecipazione a questo incontro con i media che oggi è dedicato alla presentazione ufficiale del nuovo staff tecnico della prima squadra dell'Hockey Club Lugano. Come questione organizzativa ricordo a tutti che la conferenza stampa è trasmessa in live streaming, che il segnale audio passa dunque direttamente alle telecamere e vi chiedo pertanto gentilmente di evitare di alzarvi per spostare microfoni o cellulari. Grazie. Saluto al mio fianco Vicky Mantegazza, Presidente del Consiglio di Amministrazione, saluto in sala il CEO Marco Werder, il General Manager Yannick Steinmann e il nostro coaching staff che andremo a conoscere tra poco, Tomas Mitell e Stefan Hedlund, e saluto anche il Capitan Calvin Türkauf che rappresenta oggi tutta la squadra. Vicky desidera in apertura di questo incontro fare una breve introduzione e quindi lascio subito la parola a te.
Grazie Luca. Buongiorno a tutti anche da parte mia. Prima di tutto voglio fare un in bocca al lupo a Yannick Steinmann, Tomas Mitell e Stefan Hedlund, che avrete la fortuna di conoscere fra poco. L'incontro di oggi mi dà la possibilità di prendere brevemente la parola per spiegare la struttura dirigenziale del club. In cima alla struttura troviamo il presidente del consiglio di amministrazione, a seguire c'è il CEO, che ha la responsabilità della gestione complessiva del club e che risponde direttamente al consiglio di amministrazione. All'interno di questa struttura il general manager ha piena autonomia per la scelta, la guida e la gestione del settore sport, quindi dei giocatori e dello staff sportivo. Il modello organizzativo sarà più snello e più diretto. Il general manager dovrà rispettare il budget definito e rispondere direttamente al CEO del proprio lavoro. Pertanto il gruppo sport, creato come gruppo di scambio di informazioni e che non prendeva nessuna decisione, non ci sarà più. Questo è quello che mi premeva dire. Ho ritenuto utile oggi fare questa breve comunicazione in un momento simbolico che apre una nuova stagione. Grazie per l'attenzione e lascio volentieri la parola ai protagonisti di questa conferenza che sono felici di accogliere nella famiglia bianconera e a cui auguro un buon lavoro per le sfide che ci attendono nella prossima stagione. Grazie a tutti.
Grazie Vicky. Adesso entriamo nel merito della presentazione. Yannick, Thomas and Stefan, please join me at the table. Yannick in the center. So now we go away in English. A warm welcome to our General Manager Yannick Steinmann, and I would like to introduce Tomas Mitell, our head coach for the next 2 seasons. 44 years old, coach since 2014, after having played as a defenseman in Sweden's second division championship. He spent 3 seasons as an assistant coach and 2 seasons as a head coach in the Allsvenskan. From 2019 to 2021, he was part of the coaching staff of the Chicago Blackhawks in the NHL. In February 2021, he became head coach of Färjestad, Karlstad, one of Sweden's most successful organizations, where he served in this role until the end of the current season. During this time, he won the Sweden Hockey League 21-22, and he led his team to a first, a third, and a fourth place in the regular season, and this winter to the final of the Champions Hockey League against Zurich. At the end of the 23-24 season, he was named Coach of the Year of the Sweden Hockey League. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you very much.
I welcome also Stefan Hedlund, 49 years old, our associate coach for the next 2 seasons. He has been coaching since 2008 after a playing career mainly in Norway. He started out at the youth level in Luleå, and from 2017 to 2019 he was part of the coaching staff of FHZ Academy and Zug. From 2019 to 2021, he was coach of Skellefteå in the Sweden Hockey League. From 2021 until December 2024, he served as a head coach of Rapperswil-Jona Lakers, which he led 2 times to the playoff, as well as to a third and to a 4th place in the regular season. Welcome, Stefan.
Thank you so much.
All right. Now I will ask a few questions to the 3 people here at the table, and then they will be available for your questions in the all-together modality. Please, as we are live streaming, before you ask the questions, I kindly ask you to repeat your full name and the media you represent. Questo anche perché l'intelligenza artificiale ascolta il suono del microfono e fa la traduzione simultanea, che è un esperimento che oggi, grazie a M, che ci assiste tecnicamente in questa conferenza stampa, intendiamo portare avanti. So I start with Yannick. Yannick, what were your main considerations in selecting the new coaching staff?
So first of all, for me, it was very important that the new coaching staff fits the same philosophy and culture that I want to build here in Lugano. So that was the main point, and obviously they have to be modern coaches, good personalities that have drive to make the players better and get the team on track again.
What type of profile were you looking for the coaching staff?
Like I said, it goes pretty much hand in hand with the first question, that they have to fit the philosophy mostly. So philosophy is like how we work every day. That is super important to me. And how they develop the players and develop the team, that we're getting better every day.
What are your expectations for the new coaching staff?
That they come prepared, they push the guys, they work hard every day, and they make sure that every player, doesn't matter if he's 20 years old or 35 years old, that they will get better and make them better players and better persons as well.
In your personal opinion, what are the key strengths of the new head coach, Mitell?
I think the way he played in Färjestad was very interesting way of playing, and I think that fits our league very well, and that was also attracting me. I think he has a great knowledge of the game, and what I did from research, how he treat people, personalities, players, and how he got them better players, was the most interesting things for me that I want to work with him. And as I got to know him now, his personality speaks for itself.
Last question about Stefan Hedlund. You have known him, having worked together in Rapperswil, where he was the head coach. What will be his role in Lugano as associate coach?
So he will have a big role as an associate coach. Like, he knows the league very well. Tomas comes in from Sweden now, and he will use him big time. So since Steph has been here in Switzerland now for 7 years, knows all the players, know all the teams, how they play, so he'll have a big role, but most likely he will work with the Ds, will work with the PK stuff without the puck. There will be a lot of things on his plate there, and it will be a big support system for Tomas as a new head coach in this league.
Okay, thank you. He will be at disposal after the other 2 interviews. Hello, Tomas.
Hello.
First question, what motivated you to join HC Lugano?
Yeah, I think I was, looking for a little bit the new challenge. Came in contact with Lugano and Yannick first of all. Had a discussion with him about what he want to build here, a little bit of a fresh start, and that kind of got me triggered and excited. And then I met with Vicky and Marco. It made a good impression, and with that said, I felt like this is going to be a great challenge, and obviously tough season last year for the club, and we want to start getting better from this day.
How familiar are you with Swiss ice hockey and with HC Lugano in particular?
Yeah, I mean, you watch hockey. I like hockey, so I watch a lot of hockey. Obviously. We play the CHL a lot, so we played against Biel, we play against Zurich, so the league I feel is more back and forth, and I think we can get a little bit better with some structure and build a little bit of a new culture, get the guys working together, be excited about that. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do.
What are your expectations for the team moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that we play as a group, that we show each other that we care, we show the fans that we care, that we play for HG Lugano, and I think that goes a long way if you can bring that culture and that motivation into next season. And then I think expectations overall, I think we should have like a short focus for us coaches coming in as new, work hard every day, make sure we get progress every day, and I don't think we need to look further than the next day right now.
Where do you think you can make the biggest impact as a coach of a team?
Yeah, but I think since we're coming from SHL in Sweden, it might be a little bit more structure maybe. So I think I'm able to help with that, help to guide the team in the right direction without being defensive-minded at all, but some structure to the game, and that could also be offensive situations. And then I think overall, again, that build that team feeling and that we come out as a group and work hard together.
And the last question, perhaps you already answered, but what style of hockey do you prefer to implement in your team?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, and that's one of the reasons I signed, that we have kind of the same vision about it, and we want to be a team that leaning forward, that we skate a lot, we cover up for each other, and the system, it's not going to be perfect every time, it's hockey we're playing, but that we have the intention to help each other, cover up for each other. If you make a mistake, that's going to happen, and that we support each other, and play as a team and look as a team.
Thank you, Tomas. Now for Stefan, what brought you to HC Lugano?
No, but I was super triggered by an opportunity to be a small part of getting back to the old culture that Lugano stands for. And I think there is so much in place here, and there is wonderful fans, and to be a small part of doing a fresh start, that triggered me big time, to be honest.
How do you envision your role as an associate coach?
No, I think it's a great challenge. I had that before, also in Switzerland, so I'm looking forward for that. And I will be working a little bit more with the development part. I will also try to help a little bit to create the same kind of way of acting and playing with the youth. So work a little bit more with the development part. And also, as Yannick mentioned, to work with the defensive part of the game. So excited about that and looking forward to doing that.
You know the National League very well from your experience in Rapperswil. How can Lugano recover and bounce back after a tough season?
No, but I think it's Tomas already mentioned it. It's all about what we're doing from today. What are we doing tomorrow? How are we doing in the gym? How is our daily business looking like? And can we improve that every day and have a short focus? I'm very convinced that we can develop and get better. And as soon as we're doing that, there'll be a lot of things falling into place, I think.
Thank you to Yannick. Thank you, Tomas. Thank you, Stefan. Now it's up to you. Sono a disposizione per le domande. Ripeto, microfono, nome, cognome e testata. Grazie.
Don't be shy now.
Icebreaker.
Hello, Flavio Viglezio, Corriere del Ticino. Just a small question for Stefan. We knew that you were, after Rappi, you had this new experience in Geneva. You were supposed to be the assistant coach also for the upcoming season in Geneva. It was also maybe a challenge for Geneva because the season was a little bit so-so. What convinced you to choose the Lugano new event? Maybe because of Yannick that you know very well. What's happening in your mind a little bit to say, okay, not Geneva anymore, let's go to Lugano?
Oh, that's a good question, but I have a feeling that down here it's different. There is a lot of passionate fans, and I see a huge potential within the club. And I also think that this team, if we do good things every day, should be able to reward the fans with a little bit more success and wins, and to be able to be part of that in a little bit longer term triggered me big time. So. The excitement of being a small part of getting the old Lugano culture back triggers me a lot, and I also see a lot of potential in many things here with new rinks coming up and great youth department, unit department. I see a lot of potential there.
Dominic Fomburg, Teleticino. A question for Yannick. You worked with Stefan in Rapperswil. You had a great success for most of the part. Why the decision to not make him head coach again, like he was in Rapperswil? Why did you thought that you need a duo this time here in Lugano?
But I'm a big believer in coaching, and the best coaching staff you can possibly get gets you a better chance of winning hockey games and develop in the right direction. And I've always been triggered. Very thankful the time with him as a head coach. I think he's a phenomenal coach. That's why I signed him up here as well. But very triggered by Tomas Mitell, working with him, also getting him a chance at being a head coach with me. So I'm very happy to have two high-quality coaches on our side that together with the rest of the coaching staff, that we're prepared now to have a good season ahead of us.
Question maybe also for Stefan. You were a head coach for many years now in Switzerland. It's not a problem for you now to be just an associate coach. What changes for you? It was not a problem for you to accept this?
No, it was not a problem, and not at all. I know Tomas a little bit since way back when I was in Skellefteå. Very triggered by his idea, very triggered about he has a special profile in the way of he has been coaching over in the NHL. So he had another perspective to our European style. Very triggered of that, very impressed of his work, and think there is a lot of things I can learn from him. And also, I know that I will get some things to do anyway, and to focus more on the individual part, to work a little bit more with those things instead of handling the things you handle normal as a head coach. I kind of like that maybe a little bit more. So it was never a problem for me. I was super excited from the start, and it's a good question, but I really like the things that are more attached to the assistant coach's task in a daily business.
Magari mi traducete, Luca, una domanda per Mitell. Conosce Johansson, Baltin e Soledvold, che è stato il primo svedese a portare grande Lugano grazie al fiuto di Geo Mantegazza.
So the question is if you know John Sletvold was the coach of when Lugano won 4 championship, and Mats Valtin and Kenta Johansson, big player, and also they had an experience in Lugano as a coach. Yeah. What do you know about these people?
I heard about Sletvold, obviously, a big coach down here that won a lot of championships. It was a couple of years ago now, but obviously I know that. I actually played under Valtin when he was a coach, so I know him. Kenta has I've been coaching against, so I know them, and obviously they're big names in Sweden, and I know they have a good reputation down here and done a good job for Lugano. So I hope another Swedish guy, 2 other Swedish guys, can do something good here as well.
A question maybe for the three, I don't know who wants to answer. You already said, Thomas, that, and we know a little bit in Switzerland, imagine that maybe in Sweden the hockey is a little bit more structured than in Switzerland. It's more a little bit up and down, or maybe. But Yannick said that your style, your philosophy would fit the Swiss hockey. In which way, without going into details, but I mean, with this difference between the structural hockey in Scandinavian structural hockey and the Swiss hockey, a little bit more, a little bit more up and down. what can make the two things fit? I don't know who wants to answer. Maybe the three.
I can answer. I think we in Färjestad, what Yannick is referring to is like we played a pretty offensive style. I think we scored the most goals 2-3 years in a row. But for me, it's like scoring goal doesn't necessarily need that it's without structure and that you can't defend. So I think that that fast game, we want to play a fast game. We want to have a lot of transition. Hopefully the fans get to see some action on the ice. I think that's what he's referring to. But also like that defending part without the pucks, that's going to lead to offense. So we're not just defending to not get scored on. We're also defending to get the puck back and then be able to go hopefully on transitions and get some chances the other way.
Question for Tomas. I wanted to ask, what idea did you make of Lugano, of the potential that is here with Färjestad? You played also Zurich in the Champions League final. Maybe you saw the final that ended yesterday. How far off is Lugano from being near the top of Switzerland?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I should be careful not to speculate too much. Obviously, I watched the team. I think they have a lot of good pieces. Should also have respect that it's a good league and it's also coming out from a tough season. But I mean, in the long run, we all want to advance in the standings and be better and be a top team. But it's not tomorrow. So the daily work needs to be good and it needs to start from now. And then as we go in the closer to starting the season and even get into the season, we're going to know more where we fit in the league. But like you said, we play Zurich in the CHL final, and they're a good team for sure. But I don't think any team is like unbeatable. So we focus on the short term, get the group together, get a good summer, start in August and have progress, and then as we go, we kind of see how big steps we can take.
Daniele Nevano, Swiss Broadcasting Company, RSI. One question for Tomas. How close were you to join Zurich? Because there were some rumor in Switzerland talking about you getting a contract actually in Zurich, and when Lugano jumped into the discussion to sign you as a coach.
What should I answer about this? No, but I think overall, you're mostly focused on the season you're in, with that club you are in. And I was in contact with a couple of teams that everybody is that have an expired contract. And I think Lugano was the best fit, and I'm really happy to be here. So I think that's the focus. Was the focus, and that's the focus now. So very happy to be here.
Just one for Yannick. Yannick, you talk about culture, about philosophy between you and the new coaching staff. When you talk about culture and philosophy, it will also depend on the players that you will have that fit this philosophy. Now that Lugano has the new coaching staff, did you already start to talk with Tomas, with Stefan about the possibility of the market without knowing names, but can you have also a culture of play in which you will have some space for the import, for example? It will be a common discussion to find this player that can fit the philosophy where you were talking about.
Yeah. But of course, I always involve the coaching staff also, and now they're here, and we still have some openings, especially on the import side. So, and I want to get players here that they feel comfortable using every day, and it's a big part to have the right guys with the right culture, right mindset, that we're actually making progress. But also with that thing said, I think we have a lot of pieces already here that I'm super happy with. Like when we talk about Calvin Turkov and then guys that we have in the club already, I think they will buy in, that will support what we're doing. And with the right leadership and a couple extra pieces, we'll be able to make steps. So I'm happy where this team is forming to, and I have to find the final pieces, and I will definitely have the discussion with the coaching staff together, that they also know a lot of people, and that we find the best possible pieces that are on the market to fit our team.
One question also for Stefan. When I came to Rapperswil a few seasons ago, you told me that nobody actually came to the training to interview the players, to interview also you, and how you can manage this pressure there is in Ticino from mass media, from journalists in the day-to-day work.
No, but I think it will be probably be different. I think you're right about that. But it's also like when you go into season as a coach, you're going into a bubble, and I try to stay out of reading what's out there, and make sure that we, as working in the club, are following the direction we want to follow. So the answer to the question is to keep focusing on every day, and not get blown away what says in newspapers or blogs or whatever. So for me, same for as a player, focus on every day and focus on what's here and now, and not read what's going to happen in the future there. So right mindset, I think, day by day mindset.
I think you guys can help with that too. So it's a give and take collaboration. If you're better with this, then also it's easier for us as well. And then we know we have to also perform out there, but I think it's a give and take both sides. Good question.
Hi, Moreno Invernizzi, La Regione Ticino. Question for Thomas. What will you do in the next few weeks?
Yeah, no, but we're gonna plan. We're planning the season. We do that now. We're gonna talk with the conditioning coach about his plan and our plan together during the summer. First of all, we're gonna plan. The season, August, September. We're gonna get the schedule from the league, figure out traveling. Also, some pieces left on the team puzzle, and then talk also about culture, identity, how we want to practice, making a plan for that. So we're going to get busy, and then hopefully I get a couple of days off too before we get going.
Bene, se non ci sono altre domande, I ask you to stay a moment here so we can coordinate for the one-to-one interviews with TV. Chiedo a voi chi desidera l'intervista individuale, se potete venire qui così ci coordiniamo un attimo, perché sono 3 persone diverse e magari evitiamo 5 postazioni diverse. Per il resto da parte mia è tutto. Grazie a tutti per la vostra partecipazione e ci vedremo presto. Buona giornata, grazie.